In this video, I want to speak about my favorite, let's say 50 or maybe 52 albums of death metal. And when I'm speaking about death metal, I'm speaking about the old school death. Not so about the modern, let's say, Swedish new wave of Swedish melodic death metal, and not about something like the British scene of doom death metal. Here I will speak even more about this old school death, and here are some of my favorite bands and also, of course, albums. So let's find out and let's start. I'm also here I will speak about the albums with not any specific order. Everything comes in the way that it comes. So first of all, Disincarnate and this album of them, Dreams of the Carrion Kind. Disma from United States, and this first full-length album of them, Towards the Megalith. Here they had a little bit some doom, also all doom funeral elements in their death metal. Morgoth from Germany, and here we have two EP of them, Restoration Absurd and The Eternal Fall. Autopsy, of course, from United States, and their second full-length album, Mental Funeral. Also, Autopsy always they have these doom elements in their music. Utumno. This band is a little bit unknown. They are from Sweden, if I'm not sure, and here we have their one. I think this is the one full-length album of them and their EP. First of all, the album Across the Horizon, and the EP The Light of Day. If I prefer well their name, Impentico from United States, and their album or Horror of the Zombies. I think that they are from the United States. And now one of the first death metal bands, in the beginning they were even more like thrash death, Master, and their first full-length album of them, by the name also Master. Napalm Death and from the UK, and their third full-length album, Harmony Corruption, of course. Here they were even more death than Grindcore. Death, of course, and their second album of them, Leprosy. The Chasm from Mexico, and their album, The Spell of Retribution. God Macabre, and their the only one full-length album of them, The Winterlong, and they were from Sweden. Monstrosity from United States, and their album of them, The Dark Purity. Another band also from United States, I think they're from Texas, Imprecation, and this is maybe it's not a real full length, but here the name is Theurgia Goetia Summa. Morbid Angel, and their second album of them, Blessed Are the Sick. Also, I could bring here also Altars of Madness, their first album of them. And another band also from the United States, Morta Skald, Dying Remains, their first full-length album of them. Now another Swedish, I think, a band, Inkardrin, and their album of them, Seeds of Doom. And now Immolation from New York, and their first full-length album of them by the name Dawn of Possession. Another band, I think they are from Finland, if I'm not sure, and these guys also, they have some doom elements in their music, in their death metal of them. Delirium from Finland, and their album by the name Zoh, something like that. Tomb Mold, and if I'm not sure, this is the second album of them, Manor of Infinitive Forms. Now, another band from, if I'm not sure, they're from Czechia, and D-A-R-K, Dark, and their album Sex and Death. Blood Incantation from United States, and their second full-length album of them, Hidden History of the Human Race, of course. Now, another band by the name Vomituration, if I prefer well the name, and their album of them, A Leftover. And here we have a split, the only split here, of two bands from the Netherlands, from Holland. Eternal Solstice, first of all, and the other band is by the name Mourning. And here I bring it even more about Eternal Solstice at the day of the dawn of. Cannibal Corpse and their sixth full-length album of them, Gallery of Suicide. Now here we have another EP, Reactor. They are from Colombia, I think so, I'm not sure, but from South America, of course, these guys, and their album, The Tribunal Above, their EP, The Tribunal Above. I'm not sure, no, they are not from Colombia, they are from Chile, I think, but I'm not sure. Deicide, and of course their album, Once You Upon the Cross. This is the first real death metal album that I listened in my life. And now we have Epitaph. I think that they're all German or Swedish, I'm not sure. And their album, Seeming Salvation. Dismember, and their first full-length album of them, Like an Ever-Flowing Stream. From Sweden, of course. Deteriorate, yes, and their album of them, Rotting in Hell. I think that they were from United States, and they're very close to the style of Cannibal Corpse of these years. Another Swedish band, Merciless, and their first full-length album of them, The Waking. It came out by Death Like Silence Productions of Euronymous. Asphyx from Holland, the Netherlands, of course, and their second full-length album of them, Last One on Earth. Unleashed from Sweden, and their first full-length, Where No Life Dwells, and here we have also the demo EP and The Laughter Has Died. Another band from Germany by the name Venerum, and I'm not sure what's the name of this album specifically. Entombed from Sweden, of course, and their first album, Left Hand Path. Nile from the United States, and their second album of them, Black Seeds of Vengeance. Obituary, and their third album of them, The End Complete. Hypocrisy from Sweden, and their first also album of them, Penetralia. Here another band from United States by the name Vastum, and their first full-length album, if I'm not sure, Carnal Law. And then continue with United States, Massacre, of course, and their first album of them, From Beyond. Cataclysm from Canada, and their album of them, In the Arms of Devastation. Maybe these guys, they were in the beginning even more old school death. Afterwards, with this album and one album before, they started to be a little bit more melodic. In any case, one of my favorite death metal bands. Immortalis, and I think that they are from Germany. I'm not very sure. And their album of them with a Latin name, Indicium de Mortuis. Yes. Cadaver from Sweden also, and the only album of them, Hallucinating Anxiety. Now another band also from Holland, from the Netherlands, and here I could bring one of their first 3 full-length albums of them, but I brought here their first demo EP, something like that by the name. First of all, the band is Altar, and their EP or demo, and God created Satan to blame for his mistakes. Impaler from Sweden, and there's also one full-length album of them by the name Carnal Deity, something like that. And then continue here with Plepodomized, and these guys, I think they are from Switzerland or Holland. I'm not very sure about it. And here we have 2 EPs together. First of all, Devoted to God, and the second, Preach Internal Gospels. And if I'm not sure, they are not a Christian band. Bolt Thrower, of course, from the United Kingdom, and their album Mercenary. Here I could bring all their albums of them. They are the best quality, all of them. But this is the first Bolt Thrower that I listened, so I brought it. 6 Feet Under, and the first album of them, Haunted. Here we have a little bit more groove with death metal together. Cenotaph also from Mexico, and their first album of them by the name The Gloomy Reflection of Our Hidden Sorrows. Another band also from United States, if I'm not sure, Accidental Suicide, and their album of them Deceased. Now another special band from Germany by the name Blood, and their album with a Greek title, Oios Pethane. This is the Greek name, and if I translate it, it is that the saint died, something. The saint died, something like that. And now, Massacre from Colombia. Yes, I think that they're from Colombia, with their very special album Requiem. Carcass from United Kingdom, and here I brought their last. This was the fifth album of them, and the last for many years, by the name Swan Song. So this is it. Here I brought my favorite, let's say, old school death metal albums of all time, and maybe in another video in the future I will speak about other death metal albums and bands that I like, but they are even more melodic, of maybe from bands like In Flames, from the new wave of Swedish new wave of melodic Swedish death metal, or bands like the first albums of Paradise Lost and of Anathema, that they were this style of British doom death, or bands like Nightfall and Orphaned Land in their beginning, of course, but we will find it in another video. And here I brought even more the old school death and my best and favorite death metal albums. So from Israel, from Jerusalem, stay metal and stay heavy.